The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network, and welcome to my review show here of Impact Wrestling's Slammiversary 2023 show from the St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, on July 15th. It is now July 17th here, so this would have aired July 16th, where I'm from. So apologies again for the review being slightly late, but that's okay. I'm sure it's not a problem for a lot of you out there. Let's crack on with it, shall we? The SHAWntourage take on Jody Threat and the Death Dollz on the pre-show here. The countdown to Slammiversary. Jody is good. I've seen her perform a couple of times, and I'm glad to see her on a national stage. I think starting off with Evans and Jessica Havoc, I thought that was a bit of a mistake because I think you should showcase the bigger girls. You know, that's just me. That's just my tastes. So it's just a nitpick. I thought Jay Vidal did a good job with selling and making Jessica look like a monster. Giselle Shaw comes in, gets beaten down for a bit. I really thought that the SHAWntourage needed the win here because it feels like in the last few pay-per-views, if you're trying to, I guess, get a group over or, establish them, I feel like, losing a bunch of big-time pay-per-view matches in a row is not the best start for a group, but that's just me. I did like Jody's work in this match. She was a house of fire. And then this match just kind of ended pretty soon after. I can't remember what Rosemary's name is again. I've forgotten. She speared Jay and got the win. And I just feel like the SHAWntourage still have not been solidified as a group. Just going to quickly look and see because I really need to memorize this name that she uses now. Courtney Rush. Okay. And it's not Jay Vidal, it's Jai Vidal. Okay, cool. Got that one all sorted out. Let's move forward here. They show the ladies showing up to the building. That's Trinity and Deonna Purrazzo. I like that. I wish they did a little bit more once again with the using the building and cutting to things between matches. But you don't have to do too much of it. Just a little bit would be cool. Let's move forward. Impact Wrestling Digital Media Championship. This is its home here on the countdown shows. Joe Hendry defends against Kenny King. I thought the angle going into this looked a bit hokey, but it seems like it's a bit fun. And, he was getting all upset about, him being revealed that he used to be a stripper, and that was when he had his most success in his life. And, he seemed embarrassed by it. Like, honestly, he should be proud to have been a stripper. If you're good looking enough, right? For somebody to pay money for you to take the clothes off of your body, then mate, you're winning in life. No one will pay me to take my clothes off. I'm telling you right now. So a little silly for him to be mad, because that's the first thing I'd say. The thing is, Joe, no one will want to see you take your clothes off, mate. So I thought that they should keep the belt on Joe here. And I think they need to rename it. I don't like the name, the digital media title. So this is a simple angle, but effective. And I really feel like Joe had been really trying to make the title meaningful during his reign. I believe he's the longest reigning champion at this point. There's a huge standing ovation that was hit, but we get a rope break, which was a nice little bit of suspense. Kenny accidentally takes out his, what's his name? What's his fucking name? Why can't I remember anyone's? Sheldon Jean. Well, that's like such an NXT name right there. He takes out Sheldon Jean, and then he manages to steal the title here. And I'm now 0-2 with my predictions on this show, or at least who I thought should win. But that was okay. You know what? I think Kenny King needs something at this point. I felt a little bit like his character has been a bit bland because they haven't really done a lot with him since the Honor No More angle. And I really think that this could be good for him going forward. Something to do. Moving forward, we crack on with the Ultimate X match here. I didn't write down the names of the people in the match. Jesus Christ. Talk about lazy. Alan Angels takes on Jake something Jonathan Gresham, Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, and Kushida. So you know, you have a big show like this, they tend to end up doing an Ultimate X match. That's fine. I have no idea who Kevin Knight is. I don't even remember him doing anything in the match. Kevin Knight? Sorry, man. This match I did watch last night, and I'm having a hard time remembering it, even though I have my notes in front of me here. I don't even know one of the guys in the match. Jake Something hits a great powerbomb early on. So I guess Jake Something might be back in Impact Wrestling, because I was impressed with him when I first started reviewing Impact, and then he disappeared. And then I don't know if he went to AEW and then just ended up being on Dark. I don't know what happened, but one thing, yeah, look, this match kind of irritated me slightly, because you know, instead of getting a ladder, they're doing dives to the outside. I thought Mike Bailey was killing it though, doing some great stuff as per usual. He's really been like, if as far as I'm concerned, like, I don't know if he won any awards in the Observer, like that matters anyway, but still, if he didn't win anything, then that's BS, because I think he had a hell of a year the last year. Double Spanish Fly was cool, but fake. Grab a ladder. The point of the match is to grab, oh, sorry. This is Ultimate X, isn't it? Fuck me. I don't mean grab a ladder. I mean climb the thing and go to retrieve the X. I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone. I'm a little bit tired. Fuck. Don't grab a ladder. Okay. Climb the fucking the scaffold and go for the fucking title. It's the point of the match. They're doing all these. I know, maybe I'm nitpicking. Okay, well, let's get through this. Clearly, I'm struggling. Angels gets drop kicked onto a pile of people. What a coincidence! A pile of people happened to be standing right there. And I get annoyed about this stuff in the tag title match too. Speedball's moonsault off the platform onto a group of people. Very nice, but again, let's try and retrieve the X. Angels gets highlighted a little bit here, which I thought was good for him. He hit a poison rana off the top rope on, I don't know who it was, Jonathan Gresham, I can't remember. Or was it Mike Bailey? I don't know. But yeah, this is what we've come to expect this match. And it wasn't bad. It's just like, you know, there's just some things that, you know, it gets a little old sometimes. So there was great drama towards the end of the match here. Kushida ended up getting the X and winning. And it felt like there weren't many times where people were really climbing the Ultimate X structure and trying to retrieve the fucking thing. So I don't know. Not sure about that one. I've seen better, but it was okay. And interesting to see Kushida winning. Let's move forward. Gia Miller backstage with Kenny King. Again, audio issues for Gia on a pay-per-view. I feel bad for her. They got to get that shit sorted. I don't know what the problem is, but anyway. Impact Knockouts tag team titles, the Coven, Taylor Wilde and Kylan King, defending against Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly. I love this duo. I called this after they had that dog collar match. I called it. I was like, they should be a team, brother. Great duo. I smell title change here because, you know, the Impact Knockouts tag titles, the title reigns usually last a certain amount of time, and I was smelling it in the air. Great shine for Kelly and Masha early on. Great double tween work from the Coven. That's when I was getting tired. Okay, my notes are a nightmare at this point. Great double team work. They you know what, they've done a good job establishing themselves over the course of their title reign. I just wish that the Hex was still there and there was some other, you know, established tag teams. I don't know what's going on with the Hex. Bring them back in. I did laugh at Matt Raywalt on commentary saying something along the lines of that was less than scrupulous or something like that. And I'm like, how long have you been waiting to throw that word in there, mate? Masha gets tagged in and she's wild, bro. The Coven, again, solid work. And I'm really happy that I actually put the Knockouts tag titles on a pay-per-view instead of just on the countdown. which they have had a habit of doing lately. Masha ends up laying Taylor out, and they win the belts, bro. They win the belts. So that was pretty cool. I think that's a formidable tag team if I've ever seen one in women's wrestling. You know, because the characters are both kind of similar. They're both foreign. They're both nuts. Great stuff. And I'm happy to see Killer Kelly get some, success, because for a little while there, it seemed like she was kind of like just pottering around the company and not doing anything overly important. Not her fault, not anyone's fault. There's a lot of people on the roster there. But happy to see her, one of my crushes, win a title. Very good. Moving forward. Bully Ray and Deonna take on Scott D'Amore and a mystery partner. So this was supposed to be D'Amore and PCO against Bully Ray and Steve Macklin, which I think, nothing against EY and Deonna, but I think that would have been a better match than what this was. And I'm not saying this was a bad match, okay? I'm just saying PCO and Macklin being out there would have made this huge, but anyway, good that, someone like Deonna gets put on the show here, something important. He was first in line, so happy for him. Surprised about the return of Eric Young as Scott D'Amore's tag team partner. They're in Canada, Team Canada reunion, very nice. I thought D'Amore was really good early on. He seems quite clean out there. And you can tell Bully Ray is very confident in himself as a performer. I feel he feels he's master of his class at this stage of his career. I can tell. I don't know why, I just can. It's like that Al Snow syndrome. Like you've got it all figured out a little bit later down the line. Crowd singing the national anthem. That was good. That was a nice patriotism there. D'Amore, though, was getting beaten down by Bully. Scott D'Amore hits a spear. I popped for it because it wasn't the best spear in the world, but it was funny to see him do it, and it was cool. I thought EY being back was interesting. He's still top of his game. I think he's actually in better shape than he was when he was in Impact earlier in the year, or was it last year? I don't remember when he left, but I thought it was, I thought he looked good out there. And seeing him beating up on Deonna, that's good stuff. I was really hoping that, when the design started getting involved, that maybe Joe Doring might be okay now, and maybe he'll make a return to back up EY, but that's okay. That's just me being greedy. McCarty. Oh, McCarty, the dude. Sorry, everyone. See, I'm tired. Who's that guy? He's a hockey player, right? This has been a nightmare of a review, everyone. Darren McCarty served as a special guest enforcer. I don't know exactly what he, I just don't remember him doing a whole lot, to be honest with you, throughout the match. But he hits a stunner, and to me, I'm like, that's a crooked referee. That's crooked. He's the enforcer, and now he's got out there, and he's actually hit a maneuver on one of the wrestlers. Bully yelling, my balls, right? He got hit the balls, right? And he yells, my balls, or something like that. And I'm just like, dude, that's lame. That's lame. And I don't know if it's like he's attempting to be entertaining or something like that. And I'm not trying to like pick on Bully Ray. Like, clearly the guy knows more about wrestling than me. But like, I just feel like it takes the piss a little bit, because if I was hitting the balls, I would not be screaming, my balls. That's just me. It comes across a little hokey. I'm sorry. Anyway, D'Amore hits a destroyer after a table spot where I believe Deonna went through a table. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But EY hits a big time elbow drop on Deonna, and boom, they get the pinfall victory. Interesting. Let's move forward. Nick Aldis with an interview backstage. Very kind of cookie cutter verbiage there, but it is what it is. X Division Championship match here. Chris Sabin, the champion, defending against Lio Rush. And I just, when it comes to Lio Rush, right? the guy just bounces around every company so much. And I just keep, and he's retired several times and he comes back. And I just keep thinking, why do people still bother with him? Nothing against him. He's quite clearly a very athletic young man. And I'm sure he has something to bring to the table, but I just think that he's too fuddy-duddy. He's just joins a company, leaves a company. I don't know what it seems like he's got like this, I don't know, this position in the industry where people, this is going to sound bad, but people are expecting everyone out there to be like, oh, wicked Lio Rush. Like, I don't actually think a lot of people care about it. And I don't think it's anyone's real fault. I think if he stuck around a company long enough and created some content and didn't keep leaving, then maybe I might take it a little bit more seriously, because I can guarantee he's gone within 6 months. Anyway, he attacks Chris Sabin before the match. He lays him out, right? And I know that they've got spots planned here, right? He lays him out, the bell's rung, and he doesn't go for a pin. Like, Sabin was out. Then Leo goes to the top rope. He hits a frog splash, kick out. Then he hits a second frog splash and he wins the belt. I don't know if Sabin's injured. I don't know why it was booked this way. I'm sure there was a reason. Or if they were just doing it to do something different, then okay. But I thought to myself, what the fuck was that? I don't know, maybe he's injured. Maybe I need to read some WrestlingInc.com articles. That website's getting really annoying now with all the adverts and the videos popping up, and I try to block the videos on Wrestling Inc. and now it doesn't let me scroll down on the news articles. Like, get over it, man. I don't want adverts. I don't want a video popping up when I'm trying to read news. Let's move forward. Impact World Tag Team titles here. The Ace and Bay Club defending against Brian Myers and Moose, Subculture, and Rich Swann and Sami Callihan. So this is like a match to get people on the pay-per-view, I think. Because, like, I don't know, man. Moose and Myers were like in a multi-man match last show. Give him an angle, man. Like, don't know what they're doing with Moose. I think he's box office, or he could be. Yeah, just the last show they were doing like a number one contenders multi-man match, and it just seems like they're a little bit lost in the shuffle here. And same with Swann and Callihan. Anyone out there, is Ace Austin and Chris, are they still in the Bullet Club? Why are they called now the Ace Bay Club or the ABC? Callihan was great. I really liked the knee from Brian Myers. And I thought to myself, there's no way there's a title change here. You got to get some like established teams in there. You can't keep destroying people together. Okay. So yeah, okay. I'm going to complain a little bit. There's these dives, man. These dives. They're doing these dives to the outside, and some don't make sense, some do. Mark Andrews hit a dive that made sense because it was via happenstance. It was because of an opportunity, not because, like, what I complained about it before, but what are the odds? What are the odds that everyone happens to be on that side of the ring every fucking time you have a multi-man match? Can you try and get through one without having to fucking do it, guys? You don't need to fucking hang your hat on it to make this match good. Just come up with some sort of psychology that makes people give a flying fuck. Christ almighty. Not every multi-tag match needs to have dives. Stop watching AEW and thinking that's what you got to do. I'm sorry to pick on them, but anyway, Red Swann, please. Enough with the fucking leg slaps, dude. Way over the top with them this show. You're hitting your leg so hard. There is no way you kicking someone in the gut makes a gunshot sound. Because that's how it sounded. He smacks his leg so hard, and he's just so blatant about it. It's like, bro, just hit the back of your leg. Hit the back of your leg. You know, if you're doing it, because when I used to do a super kick when I wrestled, no one gives a shit. I used to do a super kick with my right leg, and as I did it, I did a little clap on the back of my left leg. Right? You're not looking at it because you're looking at my leg extend. But these guys, they're going like that with the leg that they're kicking with. It's shit. Sorry. Anyway, this wasn't that bad. I'm not sure if Moose should re-sign with the company when that comes up next time. If this is where they're just going to be sticking him in. You know, I get it. He's already had his run as champion, but I just think they could be doing more with him at the moment. Again, we're forgetting about tags. We're forgetting about who's the legal man. The referee doesn't seem to give a shit. The referee's kind of in the background. It seems like he's miming. He's talking, but not actually saying anything because you can't hear him. And he's pulling a face and going to wrestler like he's trying to tell him to get out. He's not really trying too hard, bro. Like maybe he's in a position there where he has to be like that because they've got spots planned, and he's like, well, I can't get actively involved here, so I'm just going to have to be really relaxed on the fact that everyone's in the ring for way too long. And not only that, another complaint that I have: people take dives from someone in the inside of the ring to the outside. Okay, you like to have everyone, the smoke clear, two guys go back in the ring and wrestle, and then you don't see anyone else for like 5-6 minutes, and you look at them on the outside and they're still like laying down, and it's like, I understand, right, that it probably has to happen that way. But for me, I find that to be really stupid and unrealistic. I know the camera does a good job of not showing people very often, but sometimes it's unavoidable when it's been a few minutes and you're like, why are they all still down and out? Like they were grazed by one guy jumping over the top rope to the outside. These multi-man matches I've never really been a big fan of it. Because all it does is give a platform for stuff like that to take the immersion of the show out of me and my immersion with the show. Anyway, the Rascals, they interfere, which is Trey Miguel and someone. I'm sorry. I don't mean to have a bad attitude. I thought Santino and Dirty Dango were supposed to be on the show. Did I miss something? Did I fucking miss something, bro? Yeah. I don't know what the deal is. I'm sorry again. I know I don't watch the weekly show. I'm sorry. I have to try. But I thought they were leading to some sort of Dango Santino thing. Anyway, Subculture get the win here to become the tag team champions. It's a good finish to the match. And props to them, They're an actual team that came in as a team. Let's get the tag team division back to being about teams, not thrown together singles wrestlers. Thank you. Anyway, let's move forward. Frankie Kazarian with his wife, Traci Brooks, making her return to Impact. I think the last time I saw her was like Bound for Glory. She was in the crowd. So she's backing up Kaz here as he takes on Eddie Edwards in this third match of their feud with his wife at ringside. I've got a name written there, and I know it's not pronounced Alisha. Oh my God. When they were commentating and said her name before, and as I was watching it, I was like, I know I'm not going to remember how to pronounce it because it's spelled the way that phonetically to me that's Alisha. It's not Alisha. Forget it. Let's just call it Mrs. Edwards. So here we go. Frankie Kazarian, what do you know? What do you know? I can't remember his username, but some fuckface that I had an argument with on Twitter. What do you know, fuckface? Frankie has a heated angle going months on end that is in a featured spot on the card. And he thought that he should have stayed in AEW because AEW have better production values and it's in front of more people. But the thing is, dickhead, Frankie wasn't getting on television. He was stuck on a YouTube show that's now defunct. And he barely did anything. I complain about it every time. But once again, I proved him wrong. I was right. He was wrong. I'm the best. He's the worst. I'm attractive. He's not good looking. Thank you. And if anyone gets that reference, 10 network points to you. Nice battle between these two. The added variables of the ladies at ringside should play into the finish. And yes, I think they did. Perhaps this should have been a street fight or something. I think we missed a little bit of an different element. We need a little hardcore element in this match or in one of the matches on this show. Different flavors. So anyway, Mrs. Edwards with a distraction. Eddie destroys Frankie with his suicide dive. That was real. That was probably the spot of the match, I think. Good heat on Frankie. Few good hope spots for Frankie as he tried to end the match. He's, heading towards the finish. He's doing those, Bret Hart, when he's going towards the finish of a match, he hits the guy in the gut, Russian leg sweep. Then he goes off the second rope, hits the fucking elbow, 2 count. He starts to get to those final stages of the match where he does, he's leading towards where he's going to get him in that sharpshooter, right? That's kind of how I saw this hope spot section here for Frankie. But then he got hit with a backpack stunner, niffle, a big suplex to the outside, from the inside to the outside, where they both tumble over. But you know what? Like, there's not a good match. The crowd just don't seem very enthusiastic. And after this suplex to the outside, which was nuts, there was an obligatory, unenthused, this is awesome. I don't know what it is with Impact Wrestling fans, but they're so lax when they're chanting, like, get a fucking beer, mate. Come on. Liven up. You're at a wrestling show. Grab a beer. I don't drink. Well, fuck you then, soft cock. Referee, another ref bump here. Fuck shit. I love that. Traci Brooks gets in the ring. She attacks Mrs. Edwards, and Traci hits a massive clothesline on her, and I thought that was really cool. Whilst that all went on, Frankie looked in the chicken wing. He was tapping. Eddie Edwards was tapping. Great drama here. Kaz is pissed off. He gets up. Isn't it funny how as soon as the referee goes and grabs the wrestler grabs the referee and shakes him, as soon as he touches him and shakes him, the referee, oh, where am I? Oh shit, oh God. It pops me every time, man. Like, why are they so weak? So good. Anyway, because of that, Eddie ends up taking advantage, hitting the Boston Knee Party for the victory. Good to see the heel go over there. I think that was necessary for Eddie because he's come up short a few times recently. 2 to go here. Impact Knockouts World Championship. Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuosa, taking on Trinity. Fatu, not the original Trinity. I don't forget quickly, mate. Okay, you can see my exclusive interview with the original Trinity on this channel. Thank you. I'm still not sure, Trinity Fatu, about the glow gimmick that you're doing. I think you needed to reinvent yourself before you came into Impact. I don't think you need to keep hanging your hat on the glow thing. I think you should have a different kind of presentation. It's like we've seen that. Now let's move to the next echelon of your career. Let's not hang your hat on one thing that you're known for. You're better than that, I know. And unfortunately, I've actually got quite a lot of notes here which are negative. And that never happens in Deonna Purrazzo matches. Never. I liked the tit for tat early into the match. That was good. Trinity hit that spinning dive over the top to the outside, but she fell a bit short on it. I don't know if the time off from the ring, she has become a little bit rusty and she's still working through the kinks, but she just seems like she's not all there at the moment. Her timing is a little bit off. She's not 100% confident like I've seen her in the past. That's just my perspective. Maybe I'm talking out of my hole, mate. One stage, Deonna goes for a clothesline and Trinity like lazily ducked the clothesline, like barely even, to the point where I think Deonna had to kind of try and avoid her, but she didn't duck the clothesline. She just didn't seem smooth out there. I don't know what to say. I just don't like she's all the way back yet. Hopefully it picks up as it moves along. She did hit a nice springboard kick, and now it started to pick up a little bit of pace, a little bit of steam. That pile driver tombstone thing that Deonna hit on her, I thought that was a little dangerous. I really don't like that move where they hook the arms over the legs and they tombstone. To me, I just think it's too dangerous, bro. We get Trinity hitting a sweet springboard jazz stinger, then a split leg of moonsault. So see there, she did 2 good things. I'm not saying they're the only 2 good things, but she did 2 good things there. This match seemed to get, go with gas toward the end. The Queen's Gambit, unfortunately, on the ring apron was a little bit sloppy. Bubba Bomb I don't know what she calls it, but we get a bubble bomb off the second rope. And then Trinity locks in Starstruck. And Deonna Purrazzo tapped out. And I was like, I think that made it a little bit, I think it was a bit too obvious. Trinity comes in, and the next thing you know, she's already in the title program. Next thing you know, she's a champion. Like, hasn't she only had like, what is it, 1 or 2 pay-per-view matches since being back? How about we tell a bit more of a story before she, you know, finally reaches the ultimate destination? She's reached her ultimate destination within a couple of months of being there. Like, what does that make your, you know, ladies on the roster that have been there for ages? How does that make them look, bro? I think she should have lost the first opportunity. I don't think we need to keep on going to this thing where we always favor the ex-WWE people when they come in and they beat all the people that have been there for a couple of years. Like, nothing against Trinity. I'm happy for her. It was really cool. And maybe her being champion will bring more eyeballs. Let's see. Anyway, main event time, Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Alex Shelley defending against Nick Aldis, the national treasure. You can see my exclusive interview with Nick Aldis on this channel. Cloverleaf early on Alex Shelley. And Aldis was dominating the proceedings early, trying to prove that he is a main event guy. And Alex Shelley is going to be a flash in the pan. Alex Shelley is going to be a transitional champion, bro. I'll tell you this, though. This match was making me a bit sleepy. And I think that the thing was, and, you know, obviously I've been sleeping like shit recently. But there's no real strong heat on this match. That's the problem. It felt a little flat because of it. I get not every match that main events has to be a blood feud, but please. I kind of feel like I wasn't sure if Aldis was a heel or a baby face. Maybe it's just shades of grey. Aldis leveling Shelley with a nice diving clothesline at one stage. I don't know why that stood out to me. It just did. So bite me if you got a problem with that. I thought to myself, I think they're going to drop the belt to Aldis as well, because I'm pretty sure all the titles changed hands on this show at that point. Big time superplex. Great block of the cloverleaf by Alex Shelley at one stage. You know, the cloverleaf was locked in almost. All he had to do was turn in, but Shelley held onto one of Aldis's legs. I liked it. Great psychology with the injured hand. Aldis is going for the cloverleaf again. The hand had been worked on during the match. Alex tried to squeeze the life out of his hand, which stopped the cloverleaf from taking place. Anyway, we got a tombstone pile driver, then a big time elbow drop from Nick Aldis. There's some really good near falls. The crowd kind of rose a little bit when it got to that. But Impact Production, be careful of those camera shots where the guy is looking up at the referee counting. That hurts the suspense of the kick out, because you can clearly see that they're staring at the referee's hand. That's just one little nitpick. Not much more here, ladies and gentlemen. A massive low blow with the use of a title distraction. So Aldis had grabbed the belt. Shelley had snatched it off him. Shelley had gave it to the referee. Referee goes to put it down. Boom! Big low blow to the dick and balls of Alex Shelley. After that, a Michinoku driver, 2 count. Aldis grabs the belt again, goes to hit him, misses, then gets DDT'd onto the title belt. And Shelley hits the shell shock and lays Aldis out and gets the victory and retains. I liked the finish. Surprised that Aldis didn't win, but kind of happy that Alex Shelley's kept the belt here. Give him a run. Give him a run. But just, you know, just as all that happens and the show's over and, you know, the crowd are cheering and they're chanting. I think they're chanting Alex Shelley or something like that. I was like, man, this crowd sounds like they've all dropped a heap of Valium. Like, they just seem like half asleep and they're saying things are awesome. I don't get it. And I don't know. Maybe it's Canadians aren't usually like that, are they? I'm from Canada. They think I'm slow, eh? Right. So anyway, there we go. My review here of Impact Slammiversary. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Josh Alexander showed up after the main event and said he was back. So it looks like he will be going after Alex Shelley and his Impact World Championship that he had to vacate due to injury. So Should be interesting to see what happens at Emergence, the next pay-per-view for Impact Wrestling. So again, that was my review show here of Impact Slammiversary. I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired. I do apologize for kind of being useless throughout this review, but you know, I can't bat at 100 all the time. To give this show a rating out of 10, Jesus, I don't want to say it was a bad show. Okay, it wasn't a bad show. It's just something was missing from a lot of it. I'm gonna, God, this sounds bad. I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. I was gonna give it a 7, but to me, I was like, I can't give it a 7. I don't know why. It's not Dave Meltzer logic, you know, like missing 1/4 of a star. Like, why can't you give it just a 1/4 star and call something a 5-star match, you dickhead? Anyway. 6.5 out of 10. Slammiversary was not my favorite Impact pay-per-view of the year, but you know, they're still kind of in a bit of a transitional phase here, going from one bunch of stories, probably moving into the next phase, because as we saw, almost every championship changed hands on this show. So there we have it, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us here on the WZWA network. You can check out our Patreon for $3 a month. You can please also go to our Pro Wrestling Tees store, Thunder Mifflin. We've got 4 designs. We need 25 sales, and then we can have unlimited designs. So please buy a shirt. And oh yeah, that's right. Go onto the Ryzen network, RIZON.net. Ryzen.net, go into a chat room, hashtag pro wrestling, heaps of awesome people in there to talk to about wrestling 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm in there all the time. So once again, thank you. I'm Karlifornia, and we will see you down the road. Thank you.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA network.